Hello, everyone. Whatever happened to the American dream? We will find out tonight and every week going forward, because this is Who Podcasts The Watchmen, product of the Capes and Lunatics podcast. I am Phil, and joining me again is
Tyler, the Night Owl.
You went that plain in the worst way.
Phil, the Rorschach Perich. Never compromise, even in the face of Armageddon.
Gotta get some Rorschach lines. I'm trying to think of when I'm drawing a blank. All right, well, seeing as how we're doing this right after episode 1, there's no new news on the Watchmen front, Doomsday Clock or otherwise, so.
Yeah, the last thing I think they said was they were about to start casting. Like, they were moving forward, and there's been a lot of rumors. Like, one thing was like it was going to be set like in modern day, which I really hope is not true, but it was just a rumor.
So how would they do that after the events of like the original series in the movie, or
I don't know. I mean,
it's present.
You have to shift everything.
Present day, like 2018.
It was a rumor. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Let's go to the famous IMDb real quick.
But
and say, who watches The Watchmen?
So what would you want? Would you want it to take place after like the movie or like before that?
No. I want it to take place like, since it's supposed to be basically the Watchmen story, he's gonna be told.
Plus, if it's like present day, are they going to do like a whole cop out where like Dr. Manhattan comes back and like fixes a bunch of stuff?
It's basically they're just redoing the book.
Well, if they do redo the original, that's what I'm saying. If they only do that original series, how many seasons are you going to get out of that? One, maybe two.
Let's think.
Unless that's what I think me and Lilith were talking about the one day. Are they going to do some of the Before Watchmen stuff? You think?
I would almost say it would be cool if they incorporate it and they did, like, because I mean you could do an episode. Think about it, kind of like the way they paced Game of Thrones.
Because I'm trying to think.
You might get like almost a whole season before you even get to like say Dr. Manhattan. Or
because the Before Watchmen stuff, there was what, like 30 some issues, or is it more than that? I think it was 30 or 40 some issues. So if you do all that and the original series, and I don't know if you could like,
because you'd have to like incorporate it in, because you wouldn't want to get off too far off pace.
You could do something with Doomsday Clock. I know you can't bring in like the DC universe, but you could like have like the new Rorschach in the world, you know, people riding in the streets. And
you know what? We'll think about this more as we go through these books, because
it's true.
You could probably chop up the first book into like 4 sections.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you take your time and like with certain characters, you pad it out as you're going with the past stuff.
I mean, if you really want to stretch it out, you start and you show how like all the originals started. Like, how did Hollis Mason become Night Owl? How did, Sally Jupiter become Silk Spectre?
I mean, if you really want to, do you remember when they did Spartacus? And they did, I don't know if like you ever watched it, but like I watched the first season. But then they did like, I think it was because the main actor had cancer and was struggling. They weren't sure if he was going to come back for season 2. They did like a prequel series for like a second season before they actually started like the continuation season. I'm trying to remember what it was called. But like they could maybe even do something like that where like they give us a season and then they like jump back and give us like a season or a half a season of like the Minutemen, but we don't even know how many episodes the first season's supposed to be. Yeah, so I mean, I'm guessing at 10, but it could be 8.
It's HBO. You're not. I don't think you get more than. Did they do any series with 13 episodes or?
I don't think so.
At least not.
I haven't watched a whole lot of HBO stuff, so. But
Yeah,
I'm
trying to remember. I don't think I've watched an HBO series like since Boardwalk Empire, and I'm trying. Yeah, I don't think they ever went more than. I don't know if they even got 13 there, but
let's look.
Plus, I mean, with like the special effects you might need for this show, they might not want to do a whole ton either. Although Game of Thrones, like, don't they have like a ton of special effects?
Yep. Okay.
Dragons and stuff.
Season 7 of Game of Thrones was 7 episodes.
Yeah.
Season 1 was 10. Season 3 was 10. Season 2, 10. 10. So yeah, Game of Thrones, every season was 10 until we got to season 7.
That's what I'm saying. With especially with like the special effects shows, they might not want to get more than 10.
And then season 8, which is going to be the last season that right now is only showing, it's supposed to be like 6 episodes. So with this, I mean, we're looking at anywhere between 8 and 10 episodes because I feel like Watchmen is what they're building up to and working on, because Game of Thrones isn't going to be back this year. It's not going to be back till 2019.
Yeah.
And Watchmen's supposed to premiere this year.
Is it this year or next year? Because I thought they said they were going to start filming this year, but I wonder if maybe late this year, like the fall or something.
It's possible. Let's just hope it's not the same people who decided to do Krypton. We might not see it till 2040.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see. I mean, as we get more information, we'll have more to speculate.
Plus it'll be a more adult series if it's on HBO.
Which, I mean, it is an adult content book.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even these Before Watchmen are rated mature.
And some of them are very much more mature than others. But we'll get there.
Yes.
We're starting this long journey together, Phil.
But yeah, as we said last issue, we're starting with the Minutemen miniseries. So this week we're doing number 2, correct, Tyler?
We are. With our good old friend, the comedian, on the cover.
Looking all Robin or Bucky like.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like a very twisted like Bucky is what it looks like. With a bat and blood.
Think of that symmetry. Who played the comedian in the movie? He's wielding a bat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And who? I mean, and it's not like they saw that coming. This was 2012.
Oh, I know. This is before he was Negan. It was before he was Thomas Wayne.
Nah.
But all right. So the first page, it's basically it intros us back like it did before, where we jump back to Hollis Mason, and what we can figure is during the time of the Watchmen, because it's before his book comes out.
1962.
Okay, yep. So, and that is, we're seeing him talking about his book with the old agent. And he's talking, and then it cuts back to 1939. And I'll let Phil lead this one.
But I was going to say, before we got to 39, as Hollis Mason's walking down the street, did you see that sign? Dr. Manhattan, man or...
Superman.
You want to say it. Wonder why Tyler likes Dr. Manhattan so much.
Okay, so I have to say, though, this page, I laughed a little too hard out loud on this next page.
Oh. Okay,
so we get over here and it shows Hollis Mason helping the Italian immigrants, and he sees in the paper about the call from Captain Metropolis. And then the next page is like the auditions of all these heroes to be on it. And I was reading through it, and I had to laugh when she said, "I'm the slut. I'll have to take off all my clothes and do things." And they're like, yeah, next. Like, I was laughing so hard because I'm like, wow, that is the most uninspired.
For like 1939 too. It's like, wow.
Yeah, for real.
Well, I think it's still better than Hank, the guy with just like a bucket on his head.
At least that was hilariously like weird.
Yeah. But yeah, I love that ad in the paper. The call goes out. Attention, all men of mystery, masked adventurers, and costume crime fighters. Captain Metropolis and Silk Spectre want you for a new group of Americans dedicated to the war on crime.
I must hear it like, attention, all men of mystery. Stop. Masked adventurers and costume crime fighters. Stop. Captain Metropolis and Silk Spectre want you. Stop.
Here comes the slut. Stop.
No, just stop. Do you remember the very odd, poorly received movie Mystery Men?
Yes.
This page right here reminds me of the scene in Mystery Men where they're auditioning people.
Oh, yes.
But what's crazy is I thought I missed something in this book, because you see it's Captain Metropolis and Sally, a Silk Spectre, like audition these people. They welcome Hollis, and then you turn the page, and they're talking about going out, and then all of a sudden there's the comedian and the silhouette, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess they're already on the team.
Yeah, it seems like time has passed, even though it's like the same year. It's like, they were kind of like, they showed them separately, issue 1, issue 2, they're already like, they've just like formed and stuff, the team.
It's just, I was just like, oh, okay. So
that's kind of like what I like about miniseries is like, when they have like a finite number of issues, they get to the point. They don't like drag it out like sometimes they do these days with comics, because they're writing for the trades.
We're going to drag this out for a year and a half. And then by the time you get to the end, you're like, wait, what happened at the beginning of this?
Exactly.
So what we're seeing is...
I'm looking at you, Bendis.
They're busting into what they believe is some sort of I'm trying to find what that quote is.
Some kind of like weapons smugglers or something.
Yep. And they're all teamed up together. So they have 3 that infiltrated, and then
here our target was a group of Italian fifth columnists who were rumored to be smuggling weapons in the New York harbor.
And then this even reminds me a little bit of like Kick-Ass 2, like where they have Justice Forever, like with Captain's Stars and Stripes, because you have Captain Metropolis driving a tank with Hooded Justice and Dollar Bill hanging on, while Silk Spectre's distracting the guy. And they just come barging in, and we find out, what were they smuggling, Phil? Like, what was going on? What was the big crime?
It was fireworks.
That's right. Fireworks. Good old... maybe illegal, but still fireworks.
And then I guess, I don't know whether to save their reputation or, it's wartime there to keep morale up. Next day, like Captain Metropolis? He's like, yep. Oh yeah, we crushed the saboteur.
And I like it because, what is it? Night Owl says, hold on. It shows Captain Metropolis holding like a shell, and it says, The shell was from Metropolis' own vehicle. I kept waiting for someone to question us, catch us in his lie. But they didn't. They ate it up, cheered us, and put us on the radio and the front page. I just thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get our big, they're all sitting around talking and trying to make plans. And
well, it jumps to 1940, it says.
Yep. So, and we get to see how much of a unapologetic person the Silk Spectre is.
And the comedian wants to know when they're going to start making money.
I like how they reference Moloch. That's another one that's really interesting to read when we get there.
Mm-hmm. They're making their plans. And I guess Metropolis is giving them schedules for when to go on patrol and where to go on patrol.
It kind of makes me wonder how old Sally is supposed to be, because once again, the comedian is supposed to be like 16, 17 years old.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sally's probably not too old, too that much older, but Because didn't her daughter put on the costume when she was like probably 6? I'm trying to remember the movie.
Yeah.
Did Manhattan say she was like 16 when he met her or something?
Yes. It kind of puts it in perspective because then you think, well, how old was Night Owl? 2?
Mm-hmm. I mean, Night Owl had what Hollis Mason?
Yeah.
Well, he was a cop. Well, we see him as a cop, so he's got to be, at least 18. Do they even take 18-year-olds? Police force, or do you have to be 21? Okay.
I think back then they took 18.
I'd say probably early 20s.
I do think it's interesting that
or older.
The agent character,
mm-hmm.
Takes Hooded Justice to the side, and has this like conversation about something that we know nothing about, but yet, if you've read Watchmen, you know what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of really interesting how they dance around it.
Well, I mean, that's a thing you really didn't talk about in 1940.
Exactly. Like, even the way they're writing this is still very true to like the comics of the era.
Mm-hmm. It's cool because it's like it is like an old comic of the time, but you throw in like these modern elements. It's like, well, yeah, I know who you sleep with, and
and it's kind of funny because once again, they're all drinking beers together, and Eddie's probably like 17, 18 now, but
mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Oh, and then isn't the agent like Sally's husband?
I just can't remember if they're married yet or not.
Yeah, I don't know, but they're driving home or whatever, and he's saying, could you like be a beard for justice, so the press doesn't figure it out.
Yep. He's talking about how this whole thing's gonna be big. Remember, their thing is about publicity, but the real story is Night Owl, Silhouette, and is it just Moth?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm getting my names mixed up, so I can't remember. But they are going after someone, and they're at the port. We're in an old circus. And then, like, it gets really dark right here. And when you start to cut back, it's kind of like you're starting to know you're getting towards the end of the comic because it cuts back to kind of the older Night Owl talking.
Mm-hmm. Then we see like Hooded Justice looking like he's getting frisky with the guy.
Yeah, like it's intercut.
And a kid looked like he's running through some kind of like carnival in the middle of the night.
He says, and like the first time I was reading this, I kind of was like not like I was looking at it and I didn't see that they were intercutting between different stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's kind of weird because it's like then like at the end, like Night Owl and the others find like a guy somebody hanging, and it's like, oh wait, is that what Hooded Justice did, or is it something completely different?
Yeah, I mean that's why it kind of threw me because like and then what is the story with the boy?
Mm-hmm.
Because like if you look at the last panel with the kid, like there's a figure like in the background. And then you're like, what is Hooded Justice doing? And then it's just, I don't know, like it's just weird. But that's where part 2 ends. The last 3 panels, there's Silhouette and Mothman like looking down. somebody hanging. And if you really look at the last panel's Night Out, but if you really look at the colorization of those three, and it's just kind of it looks very similar to where Hooded Justice is.
Yes, that's what you're supposed to be like. Oh wait, is that what you know? Is it or jump in time here or what?
And like it's one of those things like, are they going to answer it or not? Because I want
to get 4 more issues.
But that's the end of that one.
Yes,
I mean, just a short, quick, review of and discussion of Watchmen. And as we get farther into this, we get more talkative about just Watchmen in general. I'm a big fan of the book. I'm also a big fan of the movie.
Yes.
And we'll save like those opinions as we get into the book and into the film.
Eventually, maybe after we do the Before the Watchmen stuff, I want to do like a live commentary of the movie.
I think it'd be. Would you want to do the movie then the book, or the book then the movie? I almost want to do the movie then the book to kind of break it up.
Yeah, that would be a nice break between the Before Watchmen stuff, then the movie, then the other book. Yeah,
and then we can kind of just do it kind of backwards, where as we do the book, like just like reconnect it, because we've all read the book and seen the movie before, so it's not like it's all brand new.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. After the Before the Watchmen stuff, we'll probably jump in. And
there's a couple little things that are in the book that I wish were in the movie, and they're small, subtle things, but we'll get there.
We'll get there. All right, so is that all of our business for tonight?
Yeah, and Phil, to your question, I must answer with this. It came true. You're looking at it. And remember, who pods with the Watchmen? Phil does. I'm just here for the ride.
And remember, you can reach out to us at capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Hit us up on the voicemail, 614-382-2737.
You can find me at JTY Patrick pretty much anywhere. On Krypton Report.